Hey everybody, I'm Christian.
And I'm Kelly. Welcome to
Off the Deep End. Today's topic is high school drama.
This is episode 1, so welcome. We're going to be going over a lot of things today. So high school drama is something that affects everybody in America, basically. Everybody goes to high school, so we thought this was very important. A great first episode. I'm sure we won't get to everything that we want to right now because there's so much in high school to talk about.
Yeah, we're probably gonna split this into 2 different parts.
We could do as many episodes as we want about this, really. But right now, today, we are talking about like the basic, most general things about it. How it started, how to avoid it, advice, things like that in general. Some of the experiences that we've gone through in high school ourselves.
Yeah, and and if you are in high school, you'll hopefully benefit from this. But if you're not and you're just listening to hear these stories of high school, then enjoy.
Yeah, that's totally fine too. So let's start off with our first point. Let's talk about how high school drama is started. This is a really good thing to talk about, and just this first point you can learn a lot from. So there's a few ways that people start high school drama and why it started.
Yeah.
So there's people around you in high school who like drama. For a lot of people, it's like a hobby to watch. It's like a show that goes down. Yeah. Another thing and reason why it started is gossip. Lots and lots of drama can start from gossip. So
everyone talks.
Yeah, let's say you caught somebody in line for lunch and they get mad at you. You get my point. Somebody's mad at you for anything, and let's say they don't create a lie about you or a rumor, but they heard something and just overemphasized it, and then it keeps spreading and spreading and spreading, and then something bad happens, and that's
it also just start. Yeah, it's basically all that, but it's mainly within a friend group. I mean, a lot of conflict with drama can happen with people you don't really know as much, but a lot of it can happen with your own friend group.
That's a good point.
That's what sucks the most. It's your own friend group, because a lot can turn bad. I mean, the friend group you have at the beginning of high school, like freshman year, is definitely
not going to be the same.
You're going to have a entirely different set of friends, friend group people you trust, and you'll change a lot from that point on.
That's very true.
That's why they call it your freshman year.
I'm not sure if I have any of the same friends. Actually, no, that's not true. Roberto, actually. But 90% of my friends that I started with freshman year, I don't talk to at all anymore. I just don't associate with them. They're not my kind of people anymore, which isn't bad. People go their separate paths.
Yeah, sometimes it's mutual, but then most of the time, it's drama.
A lot of the times, my best friend going into freshman year of high school I had from 8th grade, well, basically my best friend, that friendship ended because of drama between us. I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. Not the nicest thing ever. I think I was the one who got screwed over in this situation.
We'll get that story one day.
Yeah, one day we'll go into that. But those are a few of the ways that it started, and I feel like those are all very, very notable and important because they also tell you how you can not start gossip and other drama. So let's say you heard a rumor. It's good to not say why not just confront the person about it? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways to stop the drama from spreading.
There'll be so many instances in my situation in which there'll be certain gossip, people are saying certain things about me, and so say if I heard one of my good friends was saying some stuff about me behind my back, I heard it through another friend, they told it to me, and instead of me consulting it the right way and going to the person and be like, hey, why would you say that? I would go about it the worst way. Heck, I'd post my story, be like, this person's fake. You just do anything stupid. And maybe that's not you, but that was definitely me. And it's not the way to go about it. You got to confront them.
Yeah, it's definitely the way to go.
You won't do anything else.
So let's kind of start talking about, the effect that it has on you and other people.
Yeah.
So I feel like one of the biggest main points that comes to my mind when we talk about this topic is mental health and physical health. So a lot of people don't understand it can also affect people's physical health as well as their mental health. And so drama is just it's stressful.
Don't you have that thing with your acne when you're really stressy?
Yeah. So aside from emotional and mental, it actually can affect people physically. So when I'm under a lot of stress, which drama does cause, I get acne along my jawline.
When I get stressed, I just get sad because it sucks. But he gets so you can see it physically. I get it emotionally.
But people, long periods of stress and drama can cause people to develop things like depression, bad habits.
I know a lot of people that are just just downers, and you can't
antisocial and things like that. Like you just can't get them to come out of the house anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like it makes you and other people just not want to go out with friends.
Yeah.
Because if there's drama in the friend group, a lot of people, they don't take the problem head on. They don't know. And it's so simple because you can just talk about it.
Yeah. Do you know what's crazy is about like a lot of things when it comes to friend groups or anybody is that in high school people are so easily swayed by anything you say. So
that's very true.
It's sad because like everyone's opinion can like change anything. It's like, so if someone told me that Kelly said something dumb about me, right, and say it actually happened, right, but I don't know that, I just think he said it, and I confront him about it, like, dude, why would you say that? He'd be like, I didn't say that, this is what actually happened. And if he told me like some other story, I believe him because I hear a second story, and you just believe everything you hear first thing, and you really just gotta like take every bit of information you hear with grains of salt.
Yeah, take it into perspective.
Yeah.
Who's saying it, where it comes from matters.
Yeah.
It's a very big thing that a lot of people don't understand. So going off of that, of what people say and perspective wise, I feel like another big part of drama is emotions in high school. Okay, not only are people's emotions going crazy with relationships, not only between girl and boy, but between friends and things like that.
It's everything.
So hormones, emotions, they make people act differently, and in high school it's the easiest time to be susceptible to those emotions and hormones.
It's because we're all just so fired up about literally every little thing in life, because we're high school is like your eyes being open to this world of like drama and dealing with people. They're all starting on becoming on the same level as you. When you're in middle school, life's easy. Now you're getting jobs, you're starting to be worried about college. It's like your mindset's being more serious and stressed.
It's because you're actually becoming an adult and you think that the things around you matter so much, when in reality it's like 1 month after you're out of high school, it's like nothing matters.
I know, it's so bad.
And it's a crazy feeling because you work so hard to fight the drama and fix it and do everything right and look like the good person, and it just takes away a lot of the time.
Yeah, it really does.
So like timing, it takes away time. So much time can be invested and spent, and it just is for nothing. Sometimes you just can't get people to come around. You can't get people to listen. The drama is always going to affect you. It's going to affect you in high school.
Once they have their own take on something, or they'll just stick to that. Like even if you have every amount of evidence supporting otherwise that could help them or anything, there's a lot of people that just won't listen.
Yeah, because a Chad will not listen.
Just
testosterone, like
it's testosterone.
And you have to talk to people in the right way. If you have a problem with somebody, you don't go up to them in front of like the lunchroom or while they're with their friends and like try and pull them aside. Or like you have to do it one-on-one. You have to be respectful. There's so many little things that can set people off that perpetuates.
It's crazy. What you think one person, like, if someone is to bump into me at lunch, something in line, I won't care about it much. However, next person may get so mad about that I don't know, they may hate you. It's so crazy. Like one thing may mean nothing to you, but it can mean so much to the other person. It's crazy. It's like, I mean, everyone's different, yeah, but like that's what bothered me always. I hated that. I was like, why? What's the big deal? I don't get why people are like so crazy.
And I feel like that's something that a lot of people need to understand. What Christian is talking about is, it doesn't really matter. If somebody bumps into you, the next person in line, what they need to learn is be the bigger man. And everybody always says this, like, be the bigger man. Like, like all your parents, all your counselors will say it. Like, you need to be bigger than the other person. You need to be the respectful one. You need to be the one who's like, in tune with their emotions. But that's what being a mature adult is. And when you do that, other people will see it. It's not just like, no. It actually matters. Another
issue like I had with that is like sometimes I'd be so self-aware that I know my issue. I know that this probably isn't a good idea. I should be a big person. But then like the other voice, like, but I'm young, it doesn't feel as good. Some dumb stuff like
and be petty and spread rumors and lies.
So petty.
And I mean, those people who we mentioned before who like drama will purposely pry at you. There are people like that.
There are people just
thrive
on drama.
You've experienced it.
Yeah.
I've seen people do it to him on purpose, and I have to go in and it's like, I was there like at the event you're talking about, and like that didn't like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like there's like so many different types of people in high school. It's like once you like have seen every type of person, which I'm sure we'll go over, and you can so identify and read people. There's like so many like there's people I'll be like I don't want to say any particular girls, but like I could like talk to like one particular girl and I can tell like okay, they're just being super sad and sappy.
Right.
They just want someone to support and care about them.
Yeah.
But once you do that, then it's like all this doesn't really matter to them, and they'll just like be all sappy and use you to leech off your
And
emotion.
attention
And time.
too. Drama. It's people love for attention.
And yeah, those people love drama too. It's crazy.
Yeah, attention hogs will like. I just keep going. I just keep going back to the same thing. Like people just like to create drama. It's like a fun hobby.
Yeah,
for somebody
it's
to watch
like okay.
go down.
While drama is usually inevitable, to some degree it can be avoided because a lot of people make it for no good reason. Like things can be so easily handled and like taken to a different like mind space, like handled so much easier. But when we're young, we want to do something stupid and we want to like hurt someone a different way or like do something back to them, and just makes nothing better and just makes it all worse.
And I have to admit, there have been times when, you know, Christian said it's easier to be petty. I've done the same thing. I've, you know, told my friend like, oh, like my thoughts and opinions and feelings on somebody else in like my friend group before I've consulted them about it. And I've tried, you know, to do my best with that and not, you know, go like in that easier way of being petty and stuff. But it is hard.
Yeah. So there are instances. I'm not gonna like say like names of situations, but Kelly would hear certain things and relay it to me. And while I could have been smarter and the bigger person and use that information wisely and like use it at the appropriate time and use it to benefit me, I just use that and be petty and go straight at the person and be like, I heard this, blah, 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 and just use it totally the wrong way and it goes totally south. Yeah. It just doesn't work out.
And it's like a game of telephone. Christian going and doing that, it's like, yes, it's harmless because, you know, the other person will always say, you can tell me, you can tell me what you're going through, like I'll help you, it's no big deal. But when they say they're not going to tell somebody, they're going to tell somebody.
They're gonna.
Like your business, once you say it to somebody else, it's now also their business. Mm-hmm. So it's yeah. Actually, yeah, this is our next point that we were going to bring up is people you call your friends is important.
His term of friends and my term of friends
are different.
Polar opposite. Anybody that would acknowledge my name, I talk to, so we're on a daily basis. People you'd call like just people I know in class, I call them my friend.
Right.
If I had a new class in art and I just sat next to one and I knew their name and we talked every so often, I consider them my friend because I just consider anyone that's nice but talk my friend. However, he has a very different take on the word friends. Mine's changed. It's now what his is. But
right. So for me, it's not as loose. It's like I have to be with you for like a very long time. We have to go through something together. I have to. When I see somebody, like I already I judge them, and I feel like I'm a good judge of character. And I have to think this person's a good character. We have to like bond through something and like actually go through something to be friends. There has to be something that goes on that like, you know, bonds us together.
Yeah.
And actually, this reminds me of a really funny story that happened to me and Christian. So, you know, freshman and sophomore year, I think you know where I'm going with this. We weren't the best of friends. Like we knew each other. We've been going to school for years and years and years.
I consider you a friend because I talk to you occasionally. I knew of you.
And so what happened was Christian, you a freshman and sophomore year, let's be honest, you weren't friends with like the best group of people, were you?
Friends with interesting group of people. Not the best now. Now I don't really know most.
And not as good looking as me. Whoa. So one day, Christian knows exactly where I'm going with this. Yeah. One day, I hadn't talked to Christian in months, you know, and
yeah,
I get a text from him or a call like one random night, and I had never gone out to like any school events or anything fun or like that. I was just more like the guy who was focusing on my grades, focusing on me, staying away from drama, and it worked really well for the most part. But this is an exception. So I get a call from Christian, and he comes up and he goes, dude, like, do you want to help me out? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, we're friends, right? And I was like, yeah, like, what do you need, man? And he's like, I got invited to this football game at a different school. And
it was like this girl. It's sort of a date thing.
Yeah, and so he said, I need a wingman. And I was like, you know, yeah, like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because
the situation was that she invited me to hang out with her group of friends. And keep in mind, this is before I actually had any sort of relationship and any idea of what the heck I was doing. So I seriously, like, needed him. Or somebody normal, I consider. Like, out of my friends at the time, And even though me and him barely talked back then, I consider him the most normal motherfucker I knew, I swear. And I just, I was like, dude, I need you for this. I can't do this alone. And I invited him to come into this little double date thing. I mean, as more or less, I was trying to go on.
I wasn't told it was a double date though.
That's
I was told I was going to be a wingman, so his dad was driving us to the football game where it was happening, and where they were all meeting up, and he goes, you know, Christian told you the story, right? He's like, do you know what you're going into? And I was like, yeah, I'm a wingman, you know, it's no big deal, I got this. And then he's like, oh no. I go, what do you mean no? And he's like, oh no, this is a double date. And, I was like, I was already talking to like a couple people. I was like, I didn't. Okay, I guess I'm going in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was kind of us. Like, we were a lot different back then.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you know, Christian would have had like a super easy time talking to a girl. Like, it wasn't the same
now
back then.
I'm not awkward around any person in that sense. I'll just, if I feel like I want to do it, I can do it.
Because this is the type of experience where you grow from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is kind of going off the deep end, but I guess you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah.
All right. So we were there, and like Christian just would not talk to this girl. I'm sitting there like, dude,
it was
like,
so awkward.
I'll distract your friends or whatever. Because like my date ended up being like 3 girls who were like freshmen.
Yeah.
And it was like really weird, and it was like babysitting almost.
Yeah. Keep my word. This whole main thing happened. So we walked in to the place. It was me and Kelly, and we had no idea where she was. She wasn't responding, and eventually she responded saying, "Oh, we're on the bleachers." We're like, what the fuck bleachers?
We ended up looking around for a while.
We were looking for them, which kind of felt like I don't know, like a kid like lost in fucking Target, couldn't find his mom. We're like, where are we? And so there's like 2 bleachers, we don't know which one they're on. And then finally they find us, and I'm like, because like this is my real first kind of encounter with this girl. Like, sure, I've seen her once. This is my first real time talking to her.
Right.
It's a date, and so I was like, hey, you know, like super awkward, and I didn't know what to say. I wasn't gonna make a conversation out of the blue. And Kelly would keep on like, pull me aside, like, dude, just talk about this, and that. Because every time there was dead air, she was with 2 other friends to the left and right of her, and then they'd be like,
so, yeah, she would just turn to them and like,
yeah. So
like,
imagine we're in front of them, and I'm like, hey, just awkward silence, and they're like, okay, so what's up, Sydney? You know what I'm saying?
Really
like,
weird.
They just start talking, and we're just like, fuck, I don't know what to do.
And we ended up going home like, halfway through, like we didn't even watch the entire thing because we were so bored. Like they left, and it was just
they got picked up early from their friend thing.
Something.
In other words, they ditched us probably because it's too bad. Oh, dude. Okay, so also what happened? I was about to like maybe talk to her because every time Kelly like turned to me like, dude, just like say this, talk about this, like how was your evening, like or something, you know. And every time I was about to do that, I turned like and then one of the times I was maybe about to do it, some guy runs up behind her. Picks her up, like, or like goes between. He's like cock block, and it's like super awkward. And I'm like, he's like, "What's up, girl?" It's just like the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, no, it was.
Oh, I hated it.
This is something that we talked about before. You know, it was probably a good thing that we didn't talk and like get involved with that group of people, because sometimes the best way to avoid drama is to literally avoid it. Like if you can separate yourself from the situation, and if you know, like if you see red flags, and it's
they're probably there for a reason.
They're there for a reason.
As much as you want to ignore them and
off.
hope that they're not there, they're there.
Yeah, I've actually had to cut ties with like friends before, which I mentioned previously, and it works. You stay. It's just like breaking up with an ex. You know what I'm saying? Another thing leading into is you have to think about the time it takes away to actually deal with this drama in high school.
Yeah,
is like, yes, we said like look at the bird's eye view of like look at other people's perspectives, things like that. Which yes, that's important, but is their perspective right? Like, are they a toxic person? Should you be investing your time to keep a relationship or friendship or a friend group afloat when it's costing you so much effort and stress?
Yeah. It's really not what you should.
And it's hard to do, but just because you separate from one friend group doesn't mean you can't make more friends.
Yeah.
I don't even care if it's like, you know, a senior year, like I guess I'll just ride with these people. There are no exceptions, okay?
Yeah. Dude, and even if you're like worried about like you've cut like say like currently after hearing this, you're like fuck, like everyone in my life's just toxic, not good, and like you're maybe like gonna take that step to like maybe start to drift away, and like maybe you're like you're scared to that. You're like, well, I have no other friends
because it's hard. Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing about high school. I tell this to anybody, whether it's about like a girls, relationships, friends, it all applies. You don't know what tomorrow's gonna be like at school. School is
it's crazy.
It's crazy because like dude, one day I'd you know, be having a normal life. Next day, something totally different happened. I maybe talking to someone new, someone else to talk to me in class. I get in a group project with somebody, and I become a group of bigger friends. Like, you never know. So you really can't, like, think that far ahead. Be like, I'm not gonna make any more friends. Everyone's gone now. Like, there's no one else there. Like, dude, you would be surprised. Everything changes so fast.
And it's just like what we were talking about before. There are red flags that you can see, and we actually know like a few good examples of when red flags happen. Do you want to go or should I?
You go with one. I'll think of something right now.
All right. So I mentioned that I had a friend who is an ex-friend freshman year, and there's a few things that you can actually see firsthand. So if there's drama occurring, I feel like my fail-safe way of dealing with it is go to that specific person and just talk about it, okay? And the red flag that wants to come up is that person does not want to talk about it. They don't care what you have to say. It isn't
your
important.
opinion doesn't like matter.
Yeah,
it's like that means they don't value you as a person or friend or whatever. They rather keep to themselves.
Yeah, when it's not as important to them, it shouldn't be as important to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why would you put in so much more effort than them?
Yeah, and if you try reaching out to them to help them or anything, and they just don't care, then just let them go.
They
like,
just shrug it off.
Just leave them with this. Just be like, do what you want with this information. I tried helping you. Clearly, you want to continue going down this path, and let's see how that works.
Because if the other party doesn't want to fix the drama, it's not worth fixing.
Yeah,
that's when you cut off.
Just let them
you
realize
have
what
to
they've
do
done,
that. It's healthier for both parties. And if you really did have a connection with that person, maybe it is worth revisiting later, because people grow, people change, and not a week, maybe not 2 weeks, maybe it takes a month, maybe it takes 2 months, maybe it takes a year or two. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's okay to stay in touch with the people. You don't need to cut all the way off, but distance helps a lot.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that.
So to recap on that, it's communication and actually talking. Okay.
Yeah. Even when you get like too stressed out or a person like they're just like being too much, you gotta take a step back, take a break. With Kelly here, sometimes I get tired of him and I gotta take a little while. And it helps because he cooled down the old noggin.
Yeah, I think you can tell that he's referencing what happens the other way around, but
something like that. Sure.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like talking is the biggest thing. And another red flag that you see that creates drama is what I always feel happen is if somebody's telling me about someone else and it's like, look at all the stuff that they've been doing, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And it sounds like gossip and bad things about somebody else. That makes me think, what is my friend, what do they tell to other people about me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's that perspective again. It's that bird's eye view. Like, yes, maybe it seems cool that like, oh, you have this friend that's telling you like all this juicy gossip and stuff, and you want to know more and more and more. But what happens when the juicy gossip out of their mouth is about you?
Yeah.
Then it's flipped on you. You know what I'm like? It's not a good thing. So sometimes those people who they always have something negative to say about somebody else, those aren't the people who you should be friends with. Those are the attention seekers. Those are the people who would like to start drama.
Yeah, some people like I've learned there's only one person I've ever seen this, but I'm sure there's more in the world because there's one person, but they're not unique. There's more than one person like that. That will like literally if they have a week which they don't have drama or something that fills a weekend, like they have a boring weekend, they'll want something to happen. I've experienced this with certain family members, none of school also, but it's just crazy how someone just can't live without something happening, some sort of conflict, so they can feel like they're the hero or they know it's right and they can just step in and just matter, and they want to like always have something going on in that sense, so they feel either important, relevant, or anything. Otherwise they feel like there's no value or point to anything, when really just you don't need to have all this. Just live life. You have something, confront it, fix it. Don't make it a drama point, conflict. It just ruins relationships and connections.
Yeah, and Christian, I think you mentioned something earlier about how there's different like types of people that we'll like probably go over and mention a few times. Mm-hmm. There is some people who are the opposite, who will step in to try and actually stop drama. They're very rare, but those are the people who you should be holding on to. Those are the people that are important. Those are the people that matter. The people who actually are there to help you in a healthy way are your real friends. And sometimes it's hard to recognize that, and you should make sure that you aren't going down the wrong path or choosing the wrong person if you have to choose between certain friend groups or people.
Yeah.
And another big problem that I've seen with one of my other friends is letting things happen around them, which is an easy way to perpetuate drama.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're in a friend group and there's bad stuff going on, like, yes, sometimes it is bad to take a side and take a stance on it and say, come up with an opinion and, you know, be that super fiery headed guy who takes the problem on by the horns. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes, you know, when you just sit there and you just let it go down and you're like, I don't really care. Yeah, like, it's okay what's going on around me.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll let it happen. I'll float through life because it doesn't matter to me, because it's not affecting me like straight on. It's not my problem, so why not? Sometimes that's the wrong thing to do.
It really is.
Sometimes be the person that goes out and actually like tries to help somebody with their drama, but don't overdo it. There's a line.
Yeah, it really is.
That a lot of people don't seem to understand.
Yeah, it's sad.
And yeah, so when, let's say, you know, you're counseling somebody on advice, I feel like this is a very, very important point. So when either you're going to somebody for advice or you're giving advice, you have to think about perspective, like we said again. Think about emotion. Think about what you're actually saying. What are your words going to do to somebody? What idea is that putting in their head, and what are they going to do because they heard that from you? Okay, do they look up to you? How big of an impact are your words going to have on that person when you're giving them advice? Like, yeah, maybe they saw you go through a relationship, but it's not the same thing for their problem. It's okay to say, I'm not the person who you should be taking advice from. If you don't have good, solid advice that you believe could help them, don't say anything. Let them figure it out. You can, and don't just say, no, I don't care. Be respectful. Say, I don't think I'm the person. Maybe refer them to a friend who you think could help better, you know, or even at this point, ask an adult and then give their advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not always good to just, you know, throw out advice, be like, oh, I'm such a good person. Like, yes, because giving advice makes you feel good. It makes everybody feel good to think, look at this person's looking up to me. I'm smarter. I can give them advice. I know what to do. Yes, it's good. And if you do, that's okay. Don't be haughty about it. Don't be all high and mighty is what I'm saying. Just leave emotion out of it. Be super straightforward and concise, because what you say matters.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's every word you can really say can be so easily taken out of context. Like, you could say one thing and think it means something when really it gets taken
to someone else. It means something different.
It means something different. Or even like when you're texting, like I remember when in the past I'd ever text somebody, or I'd be in a relationship. This kind of crossing to relationships, but not really. Whenever I'd be like in a relationship with somebody, and like I'd say certain things over the phone, whether it be it's constructive kind of, you know, I don't know. It's just me trying to be constructive about it. I realized that like if I say anything that could be taken in any other way, they'll take it the wrong way. Because like when you text, your voice is behind that. It's just words. So people read it however they hear. Like I could say like, you know that one like video, it's like a guy screaming, "I love you, dog," at the dog. Yeah, it's like Penn and Teller.
Yeah, Penn and Teller.
And then he says, "I love you, dog." Like screaming it and saying it nicely, they get two different things. And when someone reads it,
sarcasm. There's different ways you say it.
Unless you know that person well, people can't pick it up. Like, it's crazy how like it can just go over someone's head, you know?
Completely.
So, yeah, no, really, if you have something important to say to somebody, say it to their face, or FaceTime them at least. Yeah. Because like texting it is 50-50, honestly. If they're in a bad mood, they're gonna read that in a bad way. Like, it really depends.
And I feel like another really, really big point about advice is, let's say it's not somebody coming to you for advice, it's you going to somebody for advice. Let's talk a little bit about how to choose a correct person to go to advice for. Like, I've said this before to you, Christian, right? There's friends, right? And there's a lot of people, and you might have a best friend that fits with you the most and you can hang out with the most and they relate to you the most, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've got my funny friend, I've got my serious friend, I've got, you know,
you have the
wise friend.
The person you go to laugh with, either talk about relationships, person you talk about certain aspects of life. Like that, it's not always the same person. As much as that person would like to be that person, not naming names. But you know, it's really just one of those things that it just sucks in that aspect, honestly, how people view it.
Yeah, no, it does. But so you do need to take into account the perspective again. This is the big thing we've been saying over and over and over again. Is the person you're going to advise just your friend? Is it the easiest person, or is it the person that you need to hear it from? Yeah. And are you going to take their advice and do something with it, or are you just gonna let it roll off your back?
Yeah. Usually when people say something, they say it for a reason, and they don't just say it.
And it's important to keep not a black and white view, but don't take offense to things that are just, it's like, yeah, no, I could take that the wrong way. Yeah, if it's constructive criticism,
that's weird.
it's not them attacking you. You don't need to take it as a personal attack on your character or something. Or if somebody says, I think you did this wrong, maybe next time you can do this.
Yeah.
That's being a good friend. That's not being an asshole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this kind of leads into our other point that we wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
How you are viewed versus how you see yourself. So depending on how that advice is taken by somebody, how they act in that situation is, they're going to either thank you for it or they're going to hate you for it. Is your advice going to go south? And if it does go south one time or two, don't take that as like, oh, I just can't give any more advice anymore. I'm just stupid. It's just whatever, No, okay? How you view yourself matters. I wouldn't take other people's problems, to heart, to yourself. Don't let that shoot you down. Don't let that, bury you and just, you can't be stressed out of other people's drama. Sometimes.
Even if you're like friends with them, like you want like I'm sure if it's like family or something, it's more serious than high school drama. But nonetheless, anything that happens in your friends' lives or anything, like you tend to, if you want to be like that person that's in their life, you tend to take on other people's stress. So that's what sucks when you're either dating somebody that's going through a lot, or if you're good friends with someone that's going through a lot. It sometimes can be really hard and take a toll on you as a person and every aspect of you, because you're trying to reach out and help them. And sometimes when you hear something going on bad in their life or anything, it feels like it's happening to you in a certain way, and you react and you try to help, and it sucks sometimes where it feels the weirdest or just sucks the most. You really can't do too much about it because you're not that person. It's just like it's like when you watch like a show and you're just like, wow, no, don't do that. It's like that kind of thing, but it's like your friend, and sometimes they won't listen to you, and you like hear all these things.
And sometimes you can't help it. It just,
you really can't.
People are sometimes going to go down the wrong path.
Yeah.
And you just can't do anything about it. So it's important also how people view you. Well, if you care about that kind of thing. I feel like a lot of people think it matters more than it actually does.
Yeah. Because like, I think Kelly was well viewed in my school. However, mostly.
Yeah, mostly. For the most part, yeah.
Christian. That's a different story. That name.
Isn't that the kid with the Heelys?
Isn't that the kid? You say my name at my school when I went there. It was not well viewed. Well, I mean, unless you were a friend or someone that knew me, you would hear 7 different things. Whether it's this relationship or this person or this conflict or me saying, it's like, it's so much. It's because I got so into everyone's lives, and I talked to so many people, and I was so out there and outgoing so much so that a lot of people repelled me in certain ways and maybe a very negative point.
Yeah, I heard people saying lots of bad things about different people who I knew didn't deserve it because I knew them better than the other person did.
Yeah.
So it's a hard thing to learn,
But you learn it, and hopefully to some degree, we all have to go through and learn to some degree, but hopefully by listening to this, hearing these stories, or in some sense, it'll help you just a little bit more. It'll push you and so you can see those things and experience it and move on and grow yourself as a person, further yourself, and hopefully not go down some dumb paths that I may have gone down. But you know what, we're here now, and it's all fine.
Yeah, and I feel like, going off Christian's point, a lot of reason that people find it so easy to say bad things about somebody is because of the people who they associate with.
Yeah.
Those toxic people, do not let them drag you down into a place you don't want to be, into a clique you don't want to be in, into how people view you. Because if you're gonna be in a friend group, people are gonna view you how they view that friend group, and so easily just group you in with what they think of all the other people.
Yeah, because they'll just think you're friends with them. You either fit in with them, you work with them. Like, at a certain point in my life, it wasn't all my friend groups. Like this one in particular, it was a lot of toxic people. And sure that I clicked with them, but only because I was trying to, and I wanted someone to click with, and I wanted to talk to these people. And I just so happened to be able to be weird around these people. And it so happened that they all had a lot of bad stuff going on, a lot of things going on about them. And associating that with me and that group just didn't give me the best view / just anything. Now I look back at it, I feel like I stood out in a weird way. Like I just didn't feel like I belonged. It was weird.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe I was in that little circle of like people. Just such diversity.
When you look back, it's really weird to see like, oh my god, was I friends with that person? Like, did I let them tempt me? Did I let them, do certain things? It's important, but when you get out of high school, it's not as much.
Yeah.
So I think that we've gone over most of the things that we wanted to for this first part of the episode. There will most likely be more of this.
We're definitely going to revisit the topic of high school drama
because
at some point.
It's so big. It's so big. This is what our channel's about.
Yeah, we just like went off the deep end with this topic and just kept going with whatever we heard and just kept going with it.
Mm-hmm. So remember, when you're dealing with drama, when you're dealing with gossip, when you're dealing with friend groups, it is important to look at a bird's eye view. Look at people's perspectives, okay?
Yeah.
That's 1. 2, keep your emotions in check. Try and see what people are going through, what emotions are making them say that, what have they gone through before, what have they seen before, and is this just hormones making them like super like macho and wanting to do this thing? Is this, they really love or care about somebody and they're trying to protect them? What is driving them to do that? And then keep your own emotions in check too.
Yeah.
If I'm super sad, don't let that overflow into a different situation.
Yeah.
And then you just have 2 bad situations on your head. That
you really need to focus on your own mental health or anything before you start thinking about anybody else's. I mean, as much as you want to be a good person and care for your friend if they lost somebody or anything, and sure, you should still be like, I'm sorry for that and help in some way, but don't let it absorb you so much that their life is becoming your life and it starts taking a toll on you in a lot of negative ways.
Yeah. So please take into account everything you've heard from us today.
Yeah.
Think about it in terms of past experiences. What can you take away from this episode? So, in total, thank you for joining us on the first episode of
Off the Deep End.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Ooh, spicy. And that's the first episode. Spicy. I feel like there was some stuff in this, but we'll always have a second episode. Did you stop it?
Not yet.